Hi friends, welcome back to the tutorial series on database management system. Today I am going to explain about the basics of database management system. That is, what is data, what is database, and what is the database management system, and how it is different from the traditional file system. Let us go to the video. Let us familiar with the basic terms used in database. First, what is data? Data means raw facts related to any object in consideration. For example, I am a person, then my name, age, height. These are some data related to me. If you consider another object such as car, then the name of a car, then the type of a car. That are the data related to car object. So, data may be in the different forms or different types. If data in the forms of number or text, then it is known as a traditional data. If data are in the form of picture, image or videos, then they are known as multimedia data. So, data means just recorded facts related to any object or anything. They may be the different forms. Okay. Then let us discuss what is the difference between data and information. Information means processed or meaningful data. That is, we extract information from the data. When data is processed, organized, structured or presented in a given context so as to make it useful, it is called information. Okay, you understood? Let us consider an example to understand the difference between data and information. Here, the diagram shows there are some data. Then when we processing those data, we get an information. Example, each student's test score is a piece of data. Then we find the average score of a class, that is an information. So this information is derived from given data. Let us consider another example. That is, I am searching videos of DBMS in YouTube. YouTube have millions of videos. Out of those videos, DBMS videos are information for me. All other videos are just data. Okay. If you want to search videos of data structure, then data structure videos are information for you. That means it may one person, maybe for one person this is just data, maybe for another person this is just information. Based on person's requirement, we can say this is data or information. You understood? What is a database? Database is a collection of related data which represents some aspect of the real world. Here, database store collection of related data. That is, data is connected data or interrelated data which represents some aspect of the real world. For example, I have a data, age of a person, then the type of a car. These are not related data. They are random data. So we cannot say it is a database. In a database, we store collection of interrelated data which represents some aspect of the real world or real world objects or entities. Entity means a real world object that is distinguished from other world. So, we are considering an object. For example, employee, student. These are all objects. Then, related information of a particular object is stored in a database. For example, student is an object or entity. Then, student names, mark, roll number. These are all related information. So, we have to store in the student's database. Let us discuss another few examples. Online telephone directory. Online telephone directory would definitely use database to store data of the people who have telephone connection and their phone numbers and their contact details. Okay, fine. Another example is Facebook. It needs to store manipulate and present data related to members and their friends, member activities, messages, advertisements, a lot more. Okay, fine. Next, what is DBMS? Database Management System or DBMS is a collection of programs which enables its users to access database, manipulate data and in help in representation of data. We already understand database is a collection of interrelated data. So users has to access data from the database. For that we need a system software or collection of programs. This collection of programs or system software is known as database management system. So it acts as an interface between database and end users and also ensuring that data is consistently organized and remains easily accessible. I explain one more. That is, DBMS acts as an interface between database and users. Using this DBMS, users has to access data from the database and also manipulate data in the database and also fetching data from the database. Okay. This MySQL, Oracle, these are all commonly used DBMS software. Why we go for DBMS? Before we use the computer, a manual file system or paperwork used to maintain the records and files. But this system was good only for small organizations having small number of items. That is, when we have a small data, we have to use manual file system or paperwork. For example, I have 10 friends and their corresponding phone numbers. I just write these details in my diary. It is a simple process. Okay. There is no need so much time to record these details. But when I have 1000 friends, it is very difficult to write every friend details in my diary. It was time consuming and also requires lot of labor work to do. So the disadvantages of this manual file system was time consuming and also inefficient to maintain the record of big firm having large number of items. That is, when we have a large number of data items, it is difficult to manage using this manual file system. And also it become more complex when anyone requests changing the information. Okay. After the arrival of computer, then we started to use traditional file system to store the details. What is traditional file oriented approach? Before we use the DBMS, traditional file oriented approach used to store all the information. It was totally computer based system where all the information stored in different files. Every computer support its own file system. For example, Windows has NTFS file system. ext is the Linux file system. So, a file management system is a collection of programs that manage and store data in files and folders in a computer hard disk. The system actually stores data in isolated files which have their own physical location on the drive. So users manually go to this location to access the files. It is the easiest way to store the data like text, video, images, audios, etc. Okay, that is a traditional file-oriented approach. User is interacted with the computer and store all the details in different files in computer hard disk. So when users have to access the details, they just go to the location, then retrieve the data. Okay. Consider another example, that is a sales department. Then there are also different files. Then one employee may store the details of sales personnel and another employee may store the details of salaries. So these two different files store some common information. So that same data may be replicated in different files. It causes the data redundancy. So what is meant by data redundancy? Data redundancy is multiple copies of the same information stored in different files. For example, in salesperson's file and also salaries file that contain some common data items, that is person names, like that. So when updating data, user has to check all the places that data exists. Forgetting to change the update can cause data inconsistency. Okay. So this data redundancy causes data inconsistency. So data redundancies means multiple copies of the same information stored in different files. Multiple copies of the same information. So data stored in different places, that is data redundancy. So when we are forgetting to change the updates, that can cause different values for same data item. So multiple values for the same data item. It means data inconsistency. Sometimes it is necessary to store data according to conditions or based on some constraints. So a constraint means some restrictions given to data. That is also had with the file management system. So file management system is suitable for small organization to deal with a small number of clients. What are the drawbacks of file system? In the previous slide, we just see the two problems associated with the file system. One is data redundancy, other is data inconsistency. What is data redundancy? Data redundancy refers to the duplication of data or multiple copies of the same information stored in different files. For example, let us say we are managing the data of a college where a student is enrolled for two courses. That is, a student is enrolled for two courses. So, the student details will be stored twice. Okay. So that student details stored in two times. This is actually data redundancy, which will take more storage than needed. So data redundancy often leads to higher storage cost and poor access time. You understood? Because of this data redundancy, wastage of storage space occurs. Okay. Then next, what is meant by data inconsistency? Actually, data redundancy leads to data inconsistency. Let us take the same example that we have taken above. A student is enrolled for two courses and we have student address stored twice. Now let us say student requests to change his address. If the address is changed at one place and not on all the records, then this can lead to data inconsistency. Okay, that is the student want to update his address, but only in one file he changed his address. But in other file his address is not changed. So this address field has two values. So multiple values for the same data item because of this data redundancy. That is known as data inconsistency. That is, data inconsistency means multiple values for the same data item. Okay. Then next, what is data isolation? Because data are scattered in various files and files may be in different formats. So writing a new application programs to retrieve the appropriate data is difficult. That is means data isolation. Another drawback is dependency on application programs. In traditional file-oriented approach, changing files would lead to change in application programs. That is, program and data depend on each other. As a result, any change in one affects the other as well. Next one, atomicity issue. That is, atomicity of a transaction refers to all or nothing. That is, either all the operations in a transaction execute or none. Consider an example. Let us say the person A transfers 100 rupees to person B's account. This transaction consists actually multiple operations such as first debit 100 from A's account, then credit 100 to B's account. Okay. Like any other device, computer system can fail. Let us say it fails after first operation, then in that case, A's account would have been debited by 100, but the amount was not credited to B's account. In such cases, the rollback of operation should occur to maintain the atomicity of transaction. Okay, that is, atomicity means the transaction executed completely or not at all. Okay, you understood. If it fails, such case, the rollback of operation should occur to maintain the atomicity of transaction. So, in file processing system, it is difficult to achieve the atomicity property. That is the another disadvantage. Then, one more problem is data security. That is, data should be secured from unauthorized access. For example, a student in a college should not be able to see the salary details of the teachers. Such kind of security constraints are difficult to apply in file processing system. Let us discuss what are the advantages of DBMS over file system. There are several advantages of database management system over file system. I discussed few of them. First one, no redundant data. I already explained what is meant by redundancy. Redundancy means multiple copies of the same information that are stored in different files. In DBMS, this redundancy is removed by the normalization process. That is, normalization is an important process in DBMS. We will discuss it later. Okay. So, using this normalization process, DBMS reduce the redundancy. So there is no data duplication. It saves storage and improve access time. Second one is data consistency and integrity. As we discussed earlier, the root cause of data inconsistency is data redundancy. Since data normalization takes care of the data redundancy, data inconsistency also be taken care of as a part of it. Okay. So, there is data consistency and no redundant data. Another is the integrity. Integrity means the correctness of the value that is also maintained in the database. Another property is data security. It is easier to apply access constraints in database system so that only authorized user is able to access the data. Each user has different set of access. Thus, data is secured from the issues such as identity theft, data leaks, and misuse of data. So, in a database, it protects the data from unauthorized user. Next point, privacy. Limited access means privacy of data. Another advantage is easy access to data. Database system manages data in such a way so that the data is easily accessible with fast response time and also easy recovery. Since database system keep the backup of data, it is easier to do full recovery of data in case of a failure. That is, there is a backup of data is available. So if there any failure occur, it is easier to do full recovery of data. Another point is flexible. Database systems are more flexible than file processing system. These are the advantages of DBMS over file system. Now let us see what are the disadvantages of DBMS. First one, DBMS implementation cost is high compared to the file system. Another one, complexity. Database systems are complex to understand. Third, performance. Database systems are generic, making them suitable for various applications. However, this feature affects their performance for some applications. Thanks for watching. If you like my video, please subscribe my channel.